you either say yes to LeBron, we're going to get you Westbrook because you want him, or you say no and you deal with it. They decided to get Westbrook. That's still on them. If people want to say it's on LeBron too, fine. I don't have a problem with that stance. But the organization makes the deals. They literally make the deals. LeBron does not literally make the deals.
I want to shift to LeBron James because at the time of recording this podcast, he is 63 points away from breaking that iconic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scoring record, becoming the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Can you talk about, I mean, this is a record that naively, I guess, I didn't think I would see broken. Looking at this now, can you talk about the magnitude of breaking this record? And do you feel like LeBron is getting his due for reaching this milestone?
Those are both really tough to answer and a lot harder to answer than you might think. I mean, I think there's plenty of energy and coverage around this and excitement, I think, around this. And now that it looks like he's certainly going to pass Kareem in LA. They've got 2 straight home games after a road game in New Orleans on Saturday. And so it's almost certain that he's going to break the record at home, which adds a whole other layer there, right? Like the excitement would be there regardless, even if this were happening in New Orleans, Atlanta, wherever. It'll be bigger in LA. And plus, LA, this is the built-in advantage of all the celebrities already go anyway, and there will be that many more probably clamoring for tickets. Good luck getting them. It'll be a big deal, and it will rightfully be a big deal. And I think LeBron's getting plenty of credit for it. I mean, I don't know how to gauge those things. But when people say, is this person getting enough credit, too much, the right amount? Like,
sure. How
do we even measure that? And I don't watch most of the debate shows, so I couldn't tell you how they're talking about this. I think in conversations with people around the NBA, like it's universal. Everybody's just in awe of what he's been able to do. Because this is, as some people have said, this is as much a longevity record as it is a talent or production record, right? Like a lot of guys have been great scorers for 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20, and still performing at an all NBA level. Like there's so many aspects of this that just are mind blowing. And I think people who were there in '84 to witness Kareem breaking the record, and I've talked to some of those folks, I think they were all of two minds on this. In the moment, they thought, man, no one's ever breaking this. Look what Kareem's done. Guys don't make it this deep into a career. And Kareem was not quite at 20 years then, but he was on his way to 20. And I think people at the time thought no one's going to be able to put together a career of this much production over this many years again. But 1984 was a much different world than we live in now in terms of sports science and nutrition and training and all these things. So you can think of it as conceptually possible. And a lot of people I talked to, again, said things to the effect of, hey, every record is going to be broken at some point. Maybe not Wilt's 100, but the general philosophy is you should never say never. But that said, like you cannot, in 1984 or in 94 even, you could not have imagined a player who looked like LeBron physically, played like LeBron, and could last as long as LeBron. Like none of us should smack ourselves for thinking this wasn't possible. Who could have conceived of this guy? Mm-hmm. Like, he's out of, a comic book or a lab. Like you just can't imagine that. The human brain can't conceive of that, especially if we're talking about through the prism of 1984. So, it is amazing. It's remarkable. And on top of that, we have to remember he's not done. Like the guy's going to play at least a couple more years or more while waiting for, Bronny Jr. to arrive. And who knows how many thousands of more points he's going to tack on. And at that point, we're all going to do the same exercise. Mm-hmm. Well, LeBron's retiring with 8 billion points. Is this now the most unbreakable record? And at that point, I think we're all probably going to look around and say, yeah, I know Kareem's was supposed to be unbreakable, but this one really is, right? Like that's, if somebody asks me in a few years, and they will, or 10, 20 years from now, and I'm retired and on a porch somewhere drinking lemonade, and someone calls me up and says, hey, we heard you used to cover the NBA and you were around when LeBron broke that record. Is everybody ever going to break it again? I'm saying, hell no. Like it's just, it still seems just beyond belief.
Well put. With the Lakers, of course, LeBron's current team, and what has happened ever since they won that title in 2020. You've touched on the Lakers quite a bit with your work. You have a lot of insight there. Do you get the sense behind the scenes there is regret for how they've handled things with LeBron? Because you also alluded to earlier, like those two coveted Lakers picks, that it seems like from where I'm sitting, like you're not going to get criticized super hard as an organization if you go all in and you can back up on, we have LeBron James. We went all in to try to get titles while we had LeBron James. But there is this hesitancy to, spin those picks, potentially even to get like Kyrie Irving to try and pair that together, hypothetically, of course. But question being, do you think there is regret about the last 2 years, or where do you think they are in terms of trying to maximize while LeBron is on the team?
So this is a sensitive topic for the Lakers and their front office and their overall hierarchy. It's a very sensitive topic. They made some decisions. They made some bad bets. They made some assumptions. And the facts are the facts. They missed the playoffs last season. They could still miss the playoffs this season. If they miss the playoffs a couple of years in a row, and it'll have been, 3 times in however many years that LeBron's been there, like that's a failure of the organization. I know LeBron's been hurt for some of that too. I know that LeBron has a hand in, a voice in personnel. But we don't let organizations off the hook for this stuff by saying, oh, well, this guy pushed for this. You know what? Kobe Bryant once upon a time demanded the Lakers trade him, and they decided not to listen to him, not to bow to their stars' wishes. No, you're staying. And then they won another couple championships. Like LeBron was in Miami for 4 years. I'm sure he had all kinds of things he would have liked Pat Riley to do. And Riley said, no, we're running the show, and thank you for your input. And even in Cleveland, they traded some future picks for some immediate help, but that was the practical, obvious, logical thing to do if you wanted to win championships, or at least the one that they did, and then go to the finals every year. That's part of the bargain. And if it doesn't work out, you suck it up as an organization and you take the bullets for it, because that's the deal. You either say yes to LeBron, we're going to get you Westbrook because you want him, or you say no and you deal with it. They decided to get Westbrook. That's still on them. If people want to say it's on LeBron too, fine. I don't have a problem with that stance. But the organization makes the deals. They literally make the deals. LeBron does not literally make the deals. LeBron did not decide to let Alex Caruso walk over luxury tax concerns. LeBron wasn't the one who decided to basically blow up the team that helped him win a championship in 2020. So this is absolutely on the Lakers hierarchy first and foremost, even if LeBron should bear some percentage of responsibility. The bottom line is, if you have a player of his caliber, and I'll apply the same standard to the Warriors and Steph right now too. Like, what are you doing hanging on to these young players? I don't know if they're the bridge to your future or not. I don't know if they're going to extend the dynasty or not. I just know that they're not helping enough right now. And if you can trade them for immediate help to get Steph back to the finals, you should do that. Like I'm consistent on this across the board. The Nets should do the same for Kevin Durant. If you've got an all-time great, especially in his late prime, when you don't have many years of him at an all-NBA level left to play with, your obligation is to do everything possible to get them deep in the playoffs every year and give them a chance to win championships. So the Lakers have failed in that regard. That's just a basic fact. That's not, I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think that's hyperbole. Yeah. I don't think that's unfair to anybody. It's just what it is. It's their responsibility as an organization to build the best team possible. They have not done so. Whether they can remedy that for this season over the next several days, we'll see.